Hello, my name is Jan David Soutar, and I will be presenting the cultural artifact of Baltimore Club music. Scott Seward, the Baltimore music writer, wrote in 2003 that subcultures are just neighborhoods that you don't live in. And today, I'll discuss the culture of Baltimore music, its sound, its significance, and its controversies. Now, Baltimore's music scene is well documented going back to 1784. In the 1930s, Baltimore popularized jazz with the voices of Billie Holiday and Cab Calloway. The Orioles, not the baseball team, but the very first doo-wop group, was from Baltimore. And doo-wop, like hip-hop and rap in true Baltimore style, was originally a part of gang culture. You've also got rock legends like Joan Jett, the late great Rick Ocasek, Frank Zappa, just to name a few who have helped put Baltimore on the map musically all the way to today. Now, the last cultural aspect of the Be More music scene I will discuss is its adoption of musical cultures to make a whole new culture. It's mixed jazz, modern hip-hop, and club, and has even been incorporated by hip-hop greats like Tupac Shakur, who went to school in Baltimore. So those are three cultural aspects of the Baltimore music scene. And next, I will tell you about my cultural artifact, Baltimore Club or Be More Club music. And here's a perfect example.
Outside, where the fuck you at? Let me see your hands up. If you came to get your life, tear the fucking club up.
So we heard a small sample right there. But there's lots to break down, so let's go ahead and look at the aesthetics of Baltimore Club. Baltimore Club features some specific elements that make it unique, and let's start with its rhythm. So if normal heart function is between 70 to 100 beats per minute, then Baltimore Club is cardiac arrest. Be More Club starts at 130 beats per minute and goes up from there. And Be More Club is also very much in the musical horn samples, which are heard in most, if not all, Be More Club songs. Another feature of Be More Club is repetitive tribal boom bap rhythms. Now, these tribal rhythms are used not just to proclaim its arrival, but also to keep you moving to Baltimore Club's 8/4 beat structure. Now, one of the more fascinating anthropological elements of Baltimore Club is how it goes out of its way to identify the neighborhoods that it wants to affect. Listening to songs like Hey You Knuckleheads,
Bangtown, North and P, Park Heights, R&G, White Lock, Cherry Hill, North Long and Dolefield,
or Miss Tony's How You Wanna Carry It.
Cherry Hill said, how you wanna carry? Cherry Hill said, how you wanna carry? Cherry Hill said, how you wanna carry? What's up, what's up?
So Cherry Hill is a neighborhood in Baltimore that is being called out in both songs, and this is a common theme in Baltimore Club. Shout-outs to Baltimore communities act as a unifier, and they also help to sell records. Now, on to the memes. Now, Baltimore was memeing music before the internet existed, and perhaps the earliest Be More meme club track is Sound of Silence's Kill Barney from 1993, which gave the theme song to Barney and Friends very Baltimore Club treatment.
I hate you, you hate me. Let's get together and kill Barney with a baseball bat and a gun to his head. Let's go say that Barney's dead.
It's adorable. Now let's talk about how Be More Club is absolutely the significant and how significant it is to the culture of Baltimore music itself. Now, three of the main cultural players in the movement of Baltimore Club were Scotty B, K Swift, and Miss Tony, aka Big Tony. Now, Scotty B was one of the first producers of the Baltimore Club, taking inspiration from British breakbeat hardcore records that would help define the Be More Club sound. Kia Edgerton, or K Swift, who started in the scene at 18 until her tragic death at age 29, dubbed the Club Queen, pushed the limits of Be More Club as an art form, attracting the likes of celebrity DJ Diplo, as well as hosting her own radio show right there in Baltimore. And in 2008, she died tragically. Her funeral was attended by hundreds. And one of the most prolific voices of Be More Club was Miss Tony, a queer Christian Baltimore Club icon. Miss Tony's voice gave a, quote, crooked glimpse into Baltimore's naughty queer history and storied tradition of political violence. And that's according to Brandon Soderberg of FactMag.com. And Tony was a regular on Baltimore's hip-hop station 92Q, where he arrived in drag every day until 1998, whenever he became a born-again Christian and changed his name to Big Tony. Tony died in 2003 at the age of 36 from complications due to kidney failure. So why is Baltimore Club significant to Baltimore's music scene, and why could it be considered controversial? Well, the mass appeal from Voices of the Oppressed led to significant perspective changes in Baltimore's racially divided city. Be More Club reached out to thousands of young kids, urban and rural, to help them learn about a culture dramatically different than their own. And violence in Baltimore's music is practically canon. One need only to look at the fact that, according to the Baltimore Sun, Baltimore is one of the most lethal cities in the United States. Its long history of violence is still prevalent today, with 1 in 3 deaths in Baltimore coming from guns. Misogyny is also highly stylized in Baltimore Club. Songs like Yo Yo Where the Hoes At by Blunted Dummies or Get the Hole do little to move feminism forward in the minds of its listeners, as women are routinely sexually objectified in its music. But despite its controversies, Be More Club has deep roots in the Baltimore music scene, both as its own code culture and as an artifact itself. It's paved the way for political speech and bridging gaps between communities. Now, writer Scott Seward said, "Some people call dance music mindless, but that's just another word for transcendent." And Baltimore's music, and specifically the Baltimore club scene, has transcended past mindlessness. In effect, to put it on blast.
Westport in the house. Oh my God. Cherry Hill in the house. Oh my God. EA in the house. Oh my God. Harper Road in the house. Oh my God. LT in the house. Oh my God.
Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this presentation on Be More Club.
Boulevard in the house. Oh my God.